Sorry for your ears. Do this over here. Lurker? Hey, Darius. No flipping bushes for you today? Yo, little Rich. Jeremy? What's up, dudes? Just packing Hinkles up. I've been out of the loop lately. Uh-oh. Josh here. I'll call him back in a minute. I thought you were going to save this topic for a Patreon and just hand the stream over to me. Morgan, I certainly can if you'd like to. That would be amusing. This topic was for John Hogue, because we were talking earlier, and he was talking about he wanted to experiment with some solvent-based paint and maybe transition to it. But I don't think what I was trying to say, there he is. This is for you, John. When you're talking about transition, I don't think there is a transition. Simply being because you're always going to have something going wrong if you do. If you don't, you either need to go all solvent and stay there, or you need to go all water-based and stay there. But trying stuff along the way is just going to make problems. What you could do is here's the main reason is you have to, if you're switchy swappy, you need two different airbrushes. You need one that runs solvent and one that runs water-based paint, because if your paint that you have been shooting out of your water-based paint you've been shooting, if that gun isn't 100% pristine, as soon as you put lacquer thinner in there, you are going to get gummy bears. So, and you still don't need a flip-floppy. The only thing you could flip-floppy is if you had your solvent stuff and that was all your base coats, your whatever, your bait pretty much done. And then you could maybe add like a water-based, like I know some people, Casey at 6 Cents used to do it. He would paint all his baits in lacquer, but he had certain colors that he liked, and they were a lot cheaper in water-based. And it wasn't even colors; it was like weird, like iridescent stuff. And like if you had some little sparkly something you wanted to put on a back, stripe your back in lacquer or whatever solvent you're using, and then you could spray water-based over that. But you're not gonna lay down a water-based black and then have some like House of Colors, urethane and spray over the back. I mean, it might work, it might bleed, it might wrinkle, it might do who knows what. Um, so that being said, you might be able to get away with something. Typically, you can put water-based over lacquer, always. And I have seen times where you could put lacquer over water-based, but that shit has to be so dry, it's like the damn desert. Like, just take it outside and leave it for a month in the direct sunlight, and it might be dry enough that you could spray a little solvent over it and it doesn't get blasted. South Jersey, are you back reviewing baits? Long time. How are you? I've checked on you since your departure occasionally with BBC and other people. They said you were doing fine. Um, back from the shoe grave. Brennan, we're talking about John considering he wants to dabble in solvent paints. All right, enough of your ears getting blasted. And I don't think you can dabble in it. I don't know. AJ, did you dabble or did you just go? How did you deal with it? I didn't dabble. I just bought like $500 worth of paint and went. How did dabbling work? What did dabbling teach you? Did you learn anything from dabbling, or would you just go all the way? I wouldn't recommend dabbling. But what's wrong with it, Builder Dude? I learned not to dabble. There you go. So my recommendation wasn't out of line. Don't dabble. Don't dick around. Pull the Band-Aid off and go. Or don't. But don't dabble. It doesn't touch me. Like, show me where on this picture did this bait hurt you? Dabbling taught me water sucks and need to jump over. Yeah, I think dabbling would probably cause you more frustration than anything. Like, if you just start clean, then you don't have to worry about more issues that you would, because you're just asking to have problems. That's all you're doing. You're just making your life harder. You're asking to screw baits up. You're asking to waste time. You're asking to clean airbrushes. I mean, all of that is all of that's what you're asking for. You're asking for pain. But yeah. Just find, I don't know, pick you out about a dozen colors you like now and go for it. Better to make the switch early before you get too used to water base. I think he's already way used to water base. I mean, if you learned on it, you should be used to it. But nobody's used to water based BBC. That's the worst. Nobody switches to lacquer and be like, damn, I wish I had water based back. Damn, I wish I had to blow dry my paint with a hair dryer. Nobody wishes that upon themselves. But yeah, pick you out about 12 colors and you'll be good. Yeah, you're going to lose some colors. That's the thing, is if you're like chubbed up on a certain color from somewhere, you're probably going to lose it unless you can make it. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else. The only thing I don't know about that I think you can get away with, that you might be able to maybe not mix and match. I don't know how it would react, but I think you might be able to get away with some alcohol ink. If you wanted to use that, I think you might be able to spray over that with some sort of solvent. I'm not sure if it would bleed. Don't quote me on that. So that's the only thing I could recommend. Mr. Hobby or Tamaya, yeah, they make good stuff. Do they make flammable water-based? Not many exclusive colors that I can't find. No, I mean, you should be able to get the basics, like whatever you're using. The inks, I don't know. I mean, you hit alcohol with a thinner. I don't know what it's going to do. But yeah, I would just recommend sooner than later and go all in and get a new airbrush. Biggest thing is to take all the safety precautions. Don't forget that. Yes, of course. Wear a respirator. Have proper ventilation. Don't suck in all the fumes. Shit or get off the pot. Yes, correct. No dipping your toes in. New airbrush, new paint, and just start blasting. I mean, it's not. I think AJ. I don't know if you might can comment on this, but I feel like the old guard. You might be able to include me into this. I may have done this. In the older days, I would say guys who use solvent stuff would maybe kind of exaggerate maybe the level of hazard that you would be dealing with by spraying solvent-based paint. And it's not great for you. But I think it could be, in the past, it could have been exaggerated so that it would maybe keep the water-based crowd. And I kind of appreciate the, you don't want to spray this shit. It's bad. That's another thing. I think that is certainly one of the biggest, I think, misconceptions with water-based paint is that you can like spray pearl white and then like huff it and you're fine because it's water-based, which is not the case. Like there's shit in water-based paint that you don't want to breathe in. There's metallics and pearls and all that shit that you don't want to breathe in. But I think you're right, AJ. I think that was another thing, is that because guys thought like solvent was evil, that water-based was, food grade, that you could just sit there and like snort it and eat it and it was fine. I thought that, AJ, when I started, no respirator fan. Bring a good back lead paint, yeah. And you don't want to sit there in a room full of, lacquer fumes for any extended period of time. But if you shoot a little paint, you know, in a garage with the door open, you're not going to fall over dead. You might kill a few brain cells, but you know, you'll survive. It's just like, I mean, people spray paint all the time. Like, you'd be all right. Yeah, it's actually kind of terrifying, Burns, when I think back to when I first started, and I remember blasting pearls or whatever, and you would just see like a cloud of them floating in the air, and I'm just sitting there going, you know. Um, so some of the water-based stuff I spray will leave shiny dust. That's the thing. Do you want that in your lungs forever? Because it ain't going anywhere. Um, yeah, people huff spray paint. It doesn't kill them, but I think solvent paint was like, and it still is like, it's a lot of painters, like, you know, not even a lot. I don't know how many. I mean, I feel the majority of people I feel like use uh, water-based stuff, but um, there's probably a handful of guys using lacquer and urethanes and stuff like that. But it nobody wants you. You know, they just, it's always been trying just to keep you down. You know what I mean? Uh, I think. I mean, I would never tell anybody. Why would I tell anybody? If you don't sit there with a hair dryer, and I mean, I tell AJ, BBC, but we talk all the time. But as far as something like random hit me in my inbox, no. Uh, I have a real problem with opacity now. What's your problem with opacity now? You don't like? Are you pro opacity, or are you in an anti? I mean, we know you're always in an anti opacity phase, but are you moving? Are you graduating towards where uh, you like opacity? I think you need to. So you're embracing it. That's good. That's good. You can't sell clear shit forever, bro. People, they'll figure you out. They'll wake up one day and say, "Wait a minute, this AJ guy keeps putting less paint and less paint on his baits, and now he's selling me completely clear baits just with eyeballs. Wait a minute." Still on the transparent train. You'll never leave. You'll never leave, bro. You'll never leave. Once you get on, it's hard to get off. Yeah, I've been painting a scary amount of shads that have actual base coat lately. AJ, is kind of odd when I see them. Let's look. Let's look. No, I don't want to ask Meta jack shit. I want to look up AJ. Well, I'll be damned. White base coat. Look out. Nice little chartreuse barred lavender shad. Sexy thing. Like that. Those should catch someone a bass. Little green head accent. That's nice. We got some lunar stuff. Ooh, there's some old matte finish. Rusty matte. Nice. Brennan, I ain't gonna mess with that damn mold. I don't even know where it is. It's in the other room. It showed up a couple days ago. Yo, Kyle. No, BBC. I haven't. I looked at that little flimsy floppy thing, and I didn't know whether to stick my or make a bait out of it. Morgan, you know what I mean. So it just sits up in the, it's in the box in there. One of these days I'll maybe pour a bait out of it. I didn't sit there and look at it in all because mine wasn't that clean and mine never went back together the same way. So I wasn't like, I didn't looked at it in disgust. Yeah, I was looking at it like, how am I ever gonna make a bait that has equal sides? I had some air bubbles in it. I mean, it wasn't. I didn't look at it like, holy shit, this thing is immaculate. Let's take a look at it. I got a set of rubber bands. I got some guide pins. I guess those help with the alignment. No, this is not a toy. This is a lure mold. But mine's got some flashing on the inside, which is understandable. I mean, I'm not too picky about it, but there's a few air bubbles. Nothing crazy, but I did notice some air, which would be a given. I didn't, but knowing Jonas, I would think that there would have been no air. But there's so many places for this thing to trap moisture or air bubbles that it doesn't surprise me. So yeah, needs to be washed, but that's it. That's it. Some random fella on the Brotherhood probably got a good one. Maybe. But I just don't think it's gonna last long at all. Like I think that these guys I think these guys thinking they're gonna like make a living off this bait and like make dozens and dozens and dozens of them. I think they're gonna be in for because mine has little air, all these little grooves right there. They all have air pockets in them, or little air bubbles in the silicone. So I foresee that part tearing out uh, in the near future with in a minimal amount of baits. I don't know what the life expectancy of this silicone is, but I guess we'll find out. We'll find out. I mean, if I can pour I don't know, 20 baits, I'd be happy and never probably pour it again. I don't know that I could get 20 baits out of this. Maybe we'll see. So here it sits. Here it sits. I mean, this thing like contorts pretty bad when you do it. There's a lot of detail for it to last. My lip slot is probably tear out the first pour. Yeah, I almost wish it didn't have a lip slot. As crazy as that sounds. As crazy as it sounds. Brennan, I would do that anyway. If I were you and you felt like just having something to do, I would do that just for your own benefit. Um, but I don't, I don't need that. Like, I mainly just bought it as a supportive way of, you know, being supportive. But I don't really want to like make a bunch of these. Um, that's the kind of the gross thing about it is that uh, I've seen a lot of guys posting the baits and like people that follow these people, they don't know that the guy painting the bait couldn't design this in 1,000 years of trying. And they're like, "Oh, great job! Your new bait looks awesome." Like giving them credit. Some of these guys will be like, "Hey, that's not mine." Some of them don't. But to think that you can take something as well designed as this and put it out there, and people are just like, "Oh, that that looks like you could have made that," which is absurd because anybody that knows what they're looking at knows that it takes an extreme amount of uh, skill and talent and creativity and all of those things that not everybody has to design that bait. But to think that just random people that can spray a crankbait have the ability to do that is funny. Um, the way mine lines up, it'll be lucky to get a couple good fours before it bites the dust. Yeah, I don't. I mean, maybe once you get 50 rubber bands on it, but still, mine's like it's so squishy, like it moves like with the. I don't know. Maybe that's what the rubber bands are for. Like that's why it needs an excessive amount of bands. I don't know, but it seems like it's just gonna push and pull and weird. But even just like strapped right here, it wants to like just be weird. I don't know. Let's try the pins. Let's try the pins. See if that helps the rigidity. One. Which one we use here? The tail. Oh, that one's scary. What? All right. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. No, the top's still off. It's all still off. But the rubber bands, I'm sure, will help. I mean, it's better. It's better. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think Jonas would put out a sketchy product. It would probably just take a little tweaking. I just wish the silicone wasn't so soft. According to Jonas, he didn't put a border on either side. He just strapped it up, which I thought was odd. Um, um, yeah, we'll see. Like I said, Brendan, the only thing I do need, I probably need to order some of those. I need to order more micro balloons. I'm with Marty. I would like to know why he chose this this resin density. Maybe for life expectancy, you get more baits out of it. I don't know. Maybe for the detail that it doesn't pull, that it moves more. So I don't know. I don't know. I've never molded anything with this much detail. So I'm no expert. I'll let Jonas do his thing. And go, Jim. Still kicking. That's good. That's good. You still making jigs over there? Tinkering with buzz pieces? Not much. I did do something really out of the norm for me. I painted some Bagleys yesterday, and I painted them in the forbidden color, the color that I only paint per request, and I usually paint it for Eric, and I painted some for the Lizard Man, and that's pretty much it. Fire Tiger. That's weird. Yeah, the Lizard Man and Eric are about the only two people I paint Fire Tiger for. But yesterday I said, you know what? I'm gonna paint some of these damn things Fire Tiger. I never do it. It's Fire Tiger time. Uh-oh. Barnes is about done with the deep divers. Darius is over there chomping his bits, licking his lips, even though the water's 5 feet high in the bushes. Marty, you never know. By the time the water gets down, Darius might be having so much fun on the bank, he doesn't want to go back out there. He might say, you know what? I ain't a medium diving guy anymore. I'm a bushman. You painted the naughty color. I did. Still works on smallmouth. Yeah. Bobby Balsa wants 10 Fire Tigers. It actually turned out pretty good. Let me go see. I'm going to grab one. I kind of cheated. Let me pack a nice one. I didn't fully chartreuse it. I left a little strip on the bottom. but for the most part, it's Fire Tiger. And then I did the JP special that Eder ripped off, and then me. I don't know the origins of this color, but and then so I wasted probably I wasted probably 3 hours yesterday, and I had it in my mind that I was going to paint 10 special 10 special crawfish. And after the smoke cleared, I was left with 4. So, a lot of waste, but they are they're I don't know if you can see it better like that. They're pretty friggin' wild, bros. Give me some white. Give me some white. So y'all can see this science project. How stupid is that? How stupid is that? There you go. It's not as bright as what you just saw. But in the light, that's what it looks like. Like if you put it in the dark, it's pretty dark bait, but that's what you need to see. But they're all different colors. So you've got that one. That one's kind of reddy. Let's look and see what this one's got. This one's another red one. This one, let's check the green. Focus. Oh, come on. I'm kind of green. So there was some errors with these. These aren't my favorite. Some of the stenciling, my stencils were off. Like I didn't line them up great. I dotted the eyes in 2 different blacks. I wanted a lighter black and then a darker black for the pupil. And they looked great before I cleared them. And then when they got cleared, they both went just like jet black and you couldn't tell the difference. So now it just looks like there's two black dots on the front. But that kind of sucked. But besides that, like I said, they've got flaws. Like this one, the back's kind of wonky on how the stencil lined up. That bugged me. Just stuff like that. The bottoms, I would have liked to have done the bottoms different, but I was just painting. I was just dicking around. Light black and dark white paint. Yes, correct. But and then I did a weird one. So I can show you the picture. So I had a picture. This is where I pulled the inspiration from. So this guy posted on Facebook a little box of microscopic drill bits. And it was that red color with like a minty green looking lettering. And I was like, oh, I like that. I like that combination. That's pretty. So I wanted to make it into a crankbait color. So I was farting around yesterday, and I had two randoms to play around with, and I made a weird fire tiger that's got kind of that look. Just another oddity. Just one of those colors that is weird. I think it'll catch them though. I think that color will show up insanely well in dirty water. So you never know. That color might be better than fire tiger. Problem is that bait is not in a million people's tackle boxes. Fire tiger is. That will be in my tackle box and somebody else's. So they'll only be in one person's tackle box. But they can get back to us and let us know if it should be redone. It's pretty cool though. Like I would definitely throw that. It's a bone base. It looks more blue on camera than it actually is in person, but it's a bone base. It's got some glitter in it. Bone. Cool looking bait though. What are we talking about? Probably close to the dirty 30. Good morning. Burns does not feel the creative paint juices flowing. Brendan, you'll never catch another swamp dragon that big. Don't worry, bro. You won't need your scale. Where's the box? I got to get these Hinkles sent out today. But Fire Tiger. Can't believe it. Watch me. BBC is on the hunt for the record dragon. Is it my birthday soon? No, my birthday's in September. Kyle, BBC tried to tell me it was 20 pounds. The guy's lost his mind. The dude ate too many. He ate too much of mom's vegetable soup or something. Mom put some magic mushrooms in his beef stroganoff last night, and he thought he caught a 20-pound grinnell. Leave the scale. BBC said he's got calculations of the length and the girth, so he's going to send it off to his analysis team, and they're going to get back to him, and they're going to tell him it was a 32-pound grinnell because those formulas are whack. But we'll see. But BBC is going to be able to get on a live stream and say, dude, I broke the Georgia State record by 14 pounds. I know it. You know it. This thing's done. Burns, does that mean you can leave? Or does that just mean you're 30 years in? It's a long time, man. Congrats. That's a admirable thing that I don't know that a lot of people can say that they've worked at the same place for 10, 30 years. Marty, I can scrape off my errors and make some thinner with one color. Brian, I think he did. Isn't the world record? Yeah, I think it's something like that. I have caught 20-pound catfish, and that was every bit as big. We'll see about that. We'll see about that when you catch a. I guess we'll never know. The world will never know. Because everything you catch shy of the record now, that one will always be bigger. That one will always be bigger. The biggest grinnell I've ever caught on a scale was 14. And it looked stupid big. Like, the thing looked like a damn torpedo. But I couldn't even imagine. Like, I saw a picture of the state record of Georgia, and it was 16. And you could just look at the tail, how thick it was. BBC, yours didn't seem to have the girth that one did. Maybe it did. I don't think the pictures did it any justice, but I was comparing the tails. And the tail on the one from the state record looked like a damn boat paddle. I couldn't really see yours that well. BBC, yours honestly to me looks like a 10, 12 pounder, if I had to guess. 25-inch girth? That seems really huge. Where's my tape measure? Let's see. I don't know. I always lose these damn things. There it is. So, how much? 25? Well, if it were a square, it would be that big. I mean, it's pretty damn large. 43 inches long? Come on, dude. That thing wasn't 43 inches long. That fish went from my waist to the ground. The funny thing about that, Brendan, if you would have just let that thing flop around in the bottom of the boat, you could have probably went out there and sprayed it with a water bottle, and it'd probably still be alive now. Cut line off your reel. Interesting. Oh, you want to see the pictures? Like I said, the pictures don't. There's really no. You can't really tell anything. Like, it doesn't look big because his net's big enough. It's like a damn cast net. You could put a damn 150-pound tuna in BBC's net. But if you look here and you compare BBC's thumb to his fin and the rest of his gill plate, it doesn't scream giant. And next to his foot. So what size shoe do you wear, Brendan? We can figure this out. We can figure out your foot in relationship to the fish. Like right there, it looks like a damn 10-pounder, not a damn 45-inch tiger muskie. It is a muskie net. That's funny. 12 double wide. I think BBC. I think you're saucing us up. I mean, if we could turn your shoe, and it's a 12. It looks like it would be like a 28-inch fish. I think you grabbed the wrong piece of line, BBC. I think you got your leader line mistaken with your Grinnell measuring line. That's what I'm saying, Kyle. 12 to 14. BBC. We've debunked your what's his name record. What's the guy from out west, the snagger? Mike Long. Your Mike Long Grinnell. Mike Long. BB stretched the mono. Yeah, it could have been. Daryl, you caught a 10-pound grinnell on a frog? That's kind of rare. I feel like I've fished around tons and tons of grinnell, and I've caught a million grinnell, but I've only caught like 2 on topwater. See, now he's coming clean. I doubt I grabbed the wrong line, but there might have been some 43-inch line in the boat, maybe. Snakehead, 30 inches. Mississippi River. Oh yeah, I have heard that up in Hella Land and Dustin Taylor Land, they do like frogs more than down here. Ohio River, they hit it. That's weird that they don't hit them that much down here, like as much as you would think. You'd think they'd smoke a buzzbait, but not. They rather eat something on the bottom or mid range. Grill on a frog. How about that? Maybe it's just these down here. Darius catches most of his on topwater. That's weird, dude. I would have never guessed that, because down here, like, I feel like you catch way more on jigs, worms, and like underwater stuff, crankbaits and spinnerbaits. Like, if you told me to go, like, I'll give you $500 if you go catch a grinnell, like, in an hour. Like, I wouldn't even have a topwater in the boat. I wouldn't even consider throwing a topwater. If you told me for $1 million to go catch a grinnell, there wouldn't be a topwater anywhere near my rig. Buying a shock boat and finding the grinnell. BBC, you could probably convince the game and fish people to come shock your lake and see if you can get that dragon. But the dragon probably lives in shallow enough water that they couldn't get the shock boat shallow enough for him, and he will live to see another day, and you'll never know how big he was. Lives in Iowa and they like topwater in this. That's weird, dude. I wonder why that is. That's what BBC caught his on. It looked like a man's classic. And they will wreck them. I'm surprised that fish made it into the boat, BBC, honestly. When I saw the bait, I was like, that's risky. He almost had you, though. He had that wire bent off the head, reversed. That wire coming out of the head bent down. If he would have got one more move coming up, he'd have probably got you. But you would have got your blades back. After you take on the Velcro on the top of that one frog, I take your word at 50% of the time. The old Velcro frog. They're still selling those? For me to get them on a frog, they have to be feeding in reeds or hyacinth. Interesting. Yeah, I would probably say the majority of the grinnell that I catch down here are not reed or hyacinth related. They are cypress tree bank related. You're saving that spinnerbait because it is the world record grinnell catching spinnerbait. It should be hanging up. TK, that's interesting. All right. I'm gonna get out of here. Try to do a camper sesh on Thursday. Tentative guest. I'll let y'all know. Anyway, good talking to everybody. Everybody get out and catch a grinnell. Stuff it and put it on your wall. Not like BBC. The middle of the lake on one of those sandy grass humps. Did you indeed go at 3:30 in the morning? BBC gonna tell his grandkids he got a 50-pounder. Yep. It by the time he's grandpappy age, that thing will be a damn T-Rex. 20 pounds, 16-pound Gruntle. I caught one double that size. About broke my damn spinnerbait in two. Bass Fanatic, I think somebody found your jerkbait. Was it Brian? Brian, did you find the squirrel 59 DD or whatever it was? I'm not positive, Bass Fanatic. Don't chub up too soon, but I believe Brian told me that. Sorry, too late. Chubbed up. Brian Kasperzicek found them. I don't know how many he found, or if they're in possession or what, but that's his business. That's between Bass Fanatic and Brian. So Jackal Squirrel DD79 SP. Yep, that one. Oh, Bass Fanatic, what would be the best way for somebody to get in touch with you if they have said Jackal Squirrel DD79 SPs? Oh, wait. We'll figure out how to link these two people so a swap can be made. It's a 9-inch Eon. I was supposed to paint it to look like a fish, but I didn't. I did not. I made it look like the opposite. Well, don't do Facebook or Meta, whatever it's called. What about you have an email that you would like to share publicly in front of thousands of viewers? Although this chat might get scrubbed by bots and you might get lots of spam. Maybe many things, but a liar is not one. BBC, speaking of liars, I need to paint your wiggler. I forgot about it again. Let me scuff this damn thing. Let me scuff your wiggler. It is kind of a dark snakehead. I'm sure you could get bit on it. I mean, it looks kind of, it's shaped like a fish. It could be some kind of weird carp. Your wiggler, bro. Signing up Bass Fanatic with lifetime subscription of spam porn, probably. Oh, probably. If anybody wants to join the mailing list, just put your email in the chat. Put your email in the chat, and we'll get back to you shortly. Some good buzz baits. I threw away two a couple days ago when I was cleaning up in here. I took the blades off and trashed the heads. You'd have probably considered them good. because you like those long arm ones. You need to talk to Morgan Mason. He's the buzzbait builder. I don't even know where I might have a mold. Ah! Listen. You know how you make crawfish stencils? You draw crawfish markings over and over. Oh, there's the one that stuck. It just got refined. Had 4 levels. Oh. Look at this! Look at this weird looking bait. It looks kind of like a sucker. Hey, look, more fabric. Micro scales. What is this? More drawings. I think this is the original one I sent in to have made. Ooh, what is this one? Ooh, this one's badass. You thought my phone now is bad? How about that one? What model is this? Doesn't say. Yes. A whole 9-hour club dirty without. Did you win? Or did you get your ass stomped and say, damn it, I knew I should have used a spinning rod? Here's a really old spitting image made of wood that my dad carved that I foiled back in the day. It's got a rattle in it too. It's not even a rattle, it's like it's a weight stuck inside the body. Here's an early Tackle Craft paint job. Look at all that glitter. Big on glitter back in the day. Let's see here. What is this? Brush jig. What is this? There it is. BBC, I could probably make you. I've only got a 3/8. I'd prefer to have a quarter. 3/8 would be fine. Concrete, brick, and grout tape. Man, silly me. What is this? Spinner jig. Oh, I got a 1/4 ounce. Kind of convenient to have. What is this one? Football jig with screw lock. Gator, you made it just in time for the end. What is this? Oh, this is a Morgan. This is a Morgan bait. Ball head jig, weedless. And a dremeled out bullet head swim jig. More drawings. More drawings. More drawings. Put them back into the drawing bin. Gross. This is when I tried to design. Actually, I did a design, but I painted some 110s for Jordan, and I cut the stencil to make his name because he wanted them to look like crawls. So they did look like crawls. But anyway, all right, I'm out of here. What are you working on, AJ? All right, dudes. I'll check in with y'all later. Adios, dudes.